Some of the most painful lessons in life come from silence, from the things we meant to say but didn't. I've worked with teens who are already $10,000 in debt and parents who wish they had spoken up sooner. This video is your chance to say it now. These 5 truths can protect your child from years of financial stress. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to start talking, and I'll show you how. These 5 truths are about vulnerability and honesty. They may be hard depending on your background or your way you were brought up. But just think about them. Try maybe do a lesser version. Work your way up. Don't rush, but they are definitely things that could help your child. So, number one, the first truth would be you'll make mistakes, and that's okay. It's very important to normalize slip ups now so that later on, whenever they slip up, they don't try to hide it or feel that they're the anomaly or that doesn't happen to anyone else. Uh, Share an example with them, let them know, hey, I thought I had this stuff going and I slipped up here and, it cost me thousands or whatever the slip up is pertaining to, but normalize it. Um, Even if you weren't prompted by your kid, it's good to let them know now so that whenever they do slip up, they'll be like, oh, yeah, he did say that, something similar happened to him before. So he'll understand. They'll feel more comfortable talking to you about it. Truth number 2, credit can actually help you or haunt you. So I believe in most communities, credit is looked at as either free money, which is too much of a good thing, or it's looked at as, hey, avoid this with your entire life because it'll mess up your entire life, which is far too much on the negative. Let them know the negatives and the positives equally, right? Teach them that credit is a tool, it's not free money, but you can leverage it to help out your life, start a business, do other things, but also let them know, hey, here's what happens if you mess up with credit. If you have any of your own examples where you messed up with your own credit, share it with them. Those vulnerability will go miles. Truth number 3, a job pays you once, skills pay you forever. Encourage them to build skills like communication, maybe sales, definitely problem solving early on. Show them the difference between work and wealth building. I was listening to some billionaire speak, I get his name, maybe Robert Smith. I think it was him. I believe what he let the audience know that he told his children was that, in their early 20s, they should focus on skills, not so much trying to make as much money as possible, not women, not, whatever, but focus on getting skills because the more skills you go ahead and work the kinks out of and master while you're in your early 20s, as you get to your late 20s or early 30s, that's when your mind catches up and you'll actually come up with the ideas that you're going to want to execute on. And you'll have a plethora of executables because of the skills you have. The less skills you have, the less things you'll see that you can execute on. So the more you focus on building up your skills and getting better, you'll have more opportunities later on. Let them know. The fourth truth is that you should let them know that you don't need to buy things to impress people. Maybe you feel like that goes without saying, but I think it should go with saying. Protect them from lifestyle creep and comparison culture, because that is a killer right now. Way too much, way too many cars and clothes and houses and boats on the internet. And your child may think, oh, I have to do this, I have to get that stuff as soon as possible so that I can be looked at in this fashion, when in actuality a lot of that smoke and mirrors. People rent cars or rent boats or just go take pictures in front of them without renting them in the first place, to portray a lifestyle that's not actually what they're doing in real life. I remember I had a associate, I guess, we'll call it. And online, she's lit. I'm like, man, she is living just the most amazing life. Like, she just got money. I talked to her. She's like, yep, I'm doing all of this. I'm making all this money. I'm starting businesses for my kids. This, I'm like, man, that's the dream. That's where I want it to be. Later on, maybe a year later, I ended up meeting up with her and actually talking, and I started to get an actual full scope of how she actually lives. She actually who was kind of homeless, right? She was just, bumming off of different people in different cities, and would live with them, and did not have any money or businesses to pass off to anyone. Most of the money was borrowed from family and friends just to sustain life, and then the kids were staying with a family member. So it's interesting how someone can portray a completely different life online compared to what they're living in real life. Another example, because it just came to my head, there's another lady who was, you know, not not living the highest, fantasy life, right? Just pretty meek livings. I think she said her rent was like 300 or something like that. And I was like, okay, which is fine. But the, to be in that lifestyle and to, have the struggles that she had, I think a year later I saw her online, and, she's taking pictures poolside, telling people, hey, ask me how I get to go on vacation every other weekend, and how how I'm making $5,000 a week, and this and this and that. And I was like, you're not doing that. It's impossible for you to be doing that. And it's ultimately all of this to say, I promise you, majority of people online, it's smoke and mirrors. Don't let that make you over leverage yourself in real life, and make sure your kids don't do that as well. And truth number five, start investing now, even if it's $5. Show them how compounding interest works. Use apps and different investment tools that let them automatically make contributions. And this is just, this probably needs to be hit on in every video. Just if y'all don't listen to anything else, just start something up that's reoccurring. That means every week or every month, it puts money into the market. Just start that up now. I promise you will thank me in a few years. I'm getting close to the point where it's like, I don't even care what you invest in. I do care what you invest in. Put it in something safe. Put it in either an index fund, ETF, or one of the top 10 companies. But do that, start a recurring investment for it. It just opens, again, kind of like the skills thing. It'll open up so many doors later. Maybe you'll decide you want to start a business. Maybe you'll decide you want to buy real estate. I don't know. Maybe you decide you want to retire early one day. All of those things will be easier to do if you start investing $5 right now. Just a thought. And that's about it. Yep. Just most young adults learn this stuff the hard way, through overdraft fees, loan denial, bad investments, and years of living paycheck to paycheck. But your voice can change that. And if you want any help at Mammoth Money Academy, we give tools and conversation methods to parents to help you train your child step by step on how to avoid all these pitfalls and set themselves up for financial freedom while they're still in their teens. So, if you're interested in any of that, click the link in the description for more info and a free training. Thank you very much for watching.